One second. All right, here we go. Hey, Chris Jenkins. Wait, hey, whoa. We are no longer in Landover, Maryland. We are back in Charlotte. Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, a.k.a. Man of the People. Here to talk to you about this Carolina Panthers team. And I said it yesterday, your friend in the media, but also I think we're going to have to say hyphen, therapist, coach, something like that, because it's tough. But hey, these day after shows, I'm going to do them no matter what. If we're getting beat terrible, I'm going to do the show. If we win, I'm going to do the show. So you can count on me to be a man of my word and continue to serve you all that are still hanging in there with us with this Carolina Panthers team as they have fallen to some very bad places, right? A lot of bad things going on with this team. We'll talk about some highlights if we can, or bright spots if we can find any. But again, this show is strictly for you all to ask questions and comment. So there's a link that is in the description that I'm also going to pin here in the comments that I want you to use. I strongly encourage you to use it. That is why I do these live, is so that we can interact together. So I encourage you to click on that link, and whatever device you have, whether it's a phone, whether it's a computer, that you can click on that link and join us. So give me just a moment. I'm going to pin it into the comments as well for everybody to see. And we're going to talk some football. Tonight's show will be slightly abbreviated, as you all know. Hold on one second. Let's see. 1 second. All right, I am now pinning this to the comments. But as you all know, my daughter had a birthday yesterday, and I was not here, so I want to make sure that I give that little girl her first birthday some time from Daddy and some love. I see we already got a caller that's calling in, so we're going to jump right on into it. And then Knucklehead K, I know you said that you left it in the comments yesterday. I couldn't see it while I'm on the field, but we still need to go and talk about this name that you have. I don't know if you can call in or if you just got to leave some comments, but let me go ahead and get to our first caller of the day. Appreciate him setting the tone. I'm sure he's going to tell me about how happy he is, what a great day he had walking around Charlotte, getting high fives from all of his friends saying, hey, great game, great game. Let me see here.
Hey, Chris.
Shaquette, help before you get started.
Hey,
Before you get started. No, before you get started, Shaquette. I was like, I saw some information out there, and I said, you know what? When I talked to Shaquette tonight, I got to let the man give me the business. I got, like, there's no other way. I know there's no way that could be like, I got to rip Ivero. That's all I want to say. Go ahead. You have the floor.
no, I mean, I'm sure Vero is a nice guy, but here's the deal. I saw an FNC earlier. We are on the pace to allow the most points since Super Bowl era.
Yeah, I think we got currently 243 that we've given up.
So you tell me, is that acceptable? Forgetting backup players playing.
No, it's not. And I
Is
think
that
that might have been what I saw earlier today that made me think, you know what? I can't simmer him down. I know he's going to come with the venom, and I understand it. I get it. It's not acceptable. It's, you feel like you can be bad, but to be like that far bad, that's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
And I mean, I understand that this team and defense is backup players. So let me ask you a question, Chris. Is there any reason why they are not start cutting those players?
That's a very good question. I'm going to make a note of that to myself to do some digging on that. Give me just 1 second to write my quick note. But yeah, I like that. Why are you cutting guys if you then bring in a new guy and you're pretty much having the same, if not even worse, result? Because I know we've been having some 30-point games, but I don't think we've had anybody score over 40 since that first game in New Orleans, is what I really feel off the top of my head. So we got a lot worse.
Yeah, so I mean, I understand there's salary cap implication and all of that, but I'm sure if you start cutting some of the backups players, it's not going to cost you a lot of money. Also, it will send message. Will send message that we don't accept mediocre result. Because here's the deal: backup players or not, we are talking about professionally, highly paid athlete who should
Yeah.
know how to tackle. They should know how to tackle. And if they don't, then they have no business playing in the NFL. Should do something else. On offense, Ian Thomas is a blocking tight end. That is his expertise. Yesterday, third down, 4 down try. Did he do a good job of blocking?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
So why is he on the roster?
You have to wonder at this point if things are getting contagious, and that part that's getting contagious is the lack of effort, the lack of caring. That let me just get through today, right?
Right. I mean, I owed JC on yesterday to your friend Alex, cannot pronounce his last name, uh,
Zetlo.
Ziegler. So basically, in the quote, JC on expressed anger and frustration. We have great practice, but we are not bringing it on Sunday. So the question is, and this is what really pissed me off. We keep hearing the same thing game after game, how they're upset, how they had great practice, but they don't bring the result on Sunday. So it could be scheme, but it could also be effort. Because the bottom line, if you're practicing hard and having great practice over the week, you should have great result on Sunday. That is the thing. So, and then regarding Bryce, I don't know if you watch Canala's press conference today.
I did. Uh-oh, Shaked, I think you're breaking up. I may have to have you call back in because I got two other people that are waiting to talk and you're frozen.
Yeah, no, so thank you. But anyway, Chris, I don't know if you watch Canala's press conference today. So basically, he talked about Bryce. He refused to answer a question whether they're going to trade him or not. He refused to answer a question why they're not going to play him. In my own opinion, he's on the trade market. They're going to try to trade him before the deadline. And if not, then they're going to play him. But for now, he's definitely on the trade deadline. Most likely, he's going to be traded. And finally, on Sunday, the game, seeing how well Denver ran against the Saints, I'm afraid, unless miracle happen or the game is postponed, we are probably going to give up around 30 points or more because Denver has great running game.
Yeah. It's going to be tough. Hey, Shakat, because I do have a shorter show tonight and I got three people waiting, I'm going to
Sure,
end for now. But if it opens back up, feel free to call back in before the end of the show.
sure, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So
Thank
one thing that he talked about there that I want to touch on, and then I'm going to go to, looks like I got Knucklehead K, which I can't wait to talk to, is Bryce Young and what to do with him. So, yeah, I don't have any inside sources about what they're going to do, but I do feel like, yeah, if you're trying to trade him, are you really open to it? Not necessarily trying to, but you're open to it. Then I'm all about just let them sit there. Don't give them any more to say he's good at. Don't give them any more to say he's bad at. Just whatever you were thinking about Bryce is going to remain the same. And I think that gives you a decent amount of opportunity to fill some good trades. And then if he does not get traded by the deadline, then I have said it, and I'll say it again. I'm all for letting Bryce play later on in the season. Andy's not playing great right now, but he still has been playing better than Bryce was. Let's just not forget how painful that felt. I know we have some, let's see what he got in him, but goodness, like at the expense of me watching the game on Sunday for 4 hours and then coming on afterwards to tell you guys, well, we had 3 points today. Like when I know that's what we're going to think, that's tough. But nevertheless, who we got here? Uh-oh, you on mute or something. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I'm so
All
glad to
right,
talk to you. How you doing?
I'm well. How about yourself? Glad to see you made it home safely.
I wish I had time to tell you about the journey. It seemed like it get rougher and rougher. You think it'd be the opposite. You travel more, you get all these things down. But I'll tell you this one part. I'm traveling with more equipment because I'm trying to get you guys better shows when I'm on the road, no matter what it look like. So I'm traveling with like literally 130 pounds worth of equipment. Everybody's like, "What's in these bags?" They're like, "Is it a golf?" I'm like, "I wish it was a golf bag. It'd be a ton lighter." Get back to Charlotte. It takes me 45 minutes to find my bags.
Yeah, I had a friend that went through that a couple months ago. She almost missed her flight because they couldn't get her bag on the plane, and then it took her almost like an hour and a half to get her bags. So
And
I don't know if it's the construction or what.
I had to get loud, and I don't even get loud. But I'm like, listen, y'all keep telling me my bag is right over there. My bag is not there. Tell me what.
Mm-mm.
Anyway, we ain't got much time. Knucklehead K, give it to me. What's up with the name?
It's
Were
really
you a
something.
menace?
Well, in my own way, yes. I've always been that person that's kind of sort of been counted out. So
Uh
it's
huh.
more so of a competitive side of it. You tell me I can't do something,
Yeah.
I'm gonna find a way to do it. You know. So it kind of just, I guess you could say, derived from sports. Playing baseball and being the only girl of my cousins that were predominantly boys. I'm playing football and everything else. You tell me I can't do something, I'm gonna find a way to show you that I can. So it was
Oh,
like being a knucklehead about it.
okay. Some tenacity. Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good.
No, yeah, yeah, knucklehead, and that's the thing. Knucklehead is looked at like as a derogative term in a way, and it's just like, in a way, we all got to be knuckleheads, because at the end of life, gonna beat you up, beat you up, beat you up. You can't quit. You got to keep going. You got to be a knucklehead about it.
You do. And I like that blue you got in the background.
Thank you, thank. My room is actually blue. My lights are blue too, but
Okay.
this, yeah, I'm a Carolina fan through and through, which is why my room ended up being blue. It just ain't worked out for the Carolina Panthers.
it, it ain't. It ain't. What you got tonight? About you got any football tonight?
Not really. I'm probably, since I'm at home, it's my first day off. I'm off for 2 weeks.
Wow.
So
Congratulations.
yeah, man. So thank you. Yeah, it's stressful. Um, I caught a deer yesterday on 85 in South Carolina in Greer. So
Caught as in you hit or caught as in you
yeah,
shot?
he jumped over the median and took my whole headlight and everything off my left side, off my driver's side, and
Your
yeah.
truck or your personal vehicle?
Oh no, no. Oh, if it was my personal, I'd probably not even be on here right now. I would be so stressed out.
That's what I was figuring. I was like, one good thing about being in that truck, it'd be like, ooh. But other than like hearing the thump,
Yeah,
you just kept it on moving.
yeah. It was so well. My partner didn't even wake up. She was still asleep the whole
Yeah.
time. So
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, hey, we're glad that you made it back because I know you be putting some
thank
miles on that road. And you are you going to get a chance to see the Falcons game? Or was that Saints? I think it's
it's
Saints,
the
isn't it?
Saints. I'm actually, since I got 2 weeks off, I'm going out of town on Monday, and I won't be back until Sunday, and it'll probably be either during or after the game. So probably not.
Okay. All right. Well, if you do, it'd be great to see you. But if not, make sure you enjoy them 2 weeks of vacation, which I'm sure you
I'm
deserve
in the building for the
just a
Chiefs
little
game
bit.
for sure.
Yeah. You're going to be one of the people
So
that don't sell your ticket, huh? It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. Not you be like, ooh, I could double my money. I could,
if I'm
shoot.
being honest, I might show up in a Patrick Mahomes or a Travis Kelsey jersey that day.
Hey, and we might even look forward to seeing what's his lady? What's Kelsey's lady? I'm not that cool, so
Oh, Taylor Swift. Taylor
yeah,
Swift.
we gonna get Taylor Swift in Charlotte.
Probably not. We ain't that much on the map yet. And then right now the Panthers ain't making us look no better, so it's
She might be like, yo, I gotta go to this Panthers game. He gonna show out. He gonna put up like 180, like two or three TDs.
man, I'm so glad that I didn't get to watch the game on Sunday. I would have been so mad.
Yeah, it was tough.
I don't have words for that.
Hey, if you find a way to get on while you're on vacation and you want to come on, I'd love to have you on again. First time you have been not moving and on the show, but again, it's a little abbreviated show tonight, so I'm gonna try to keep it moving so I can get through to everybody. But thanks for the
Cool. I
background
appreciate
on
you.
the name
Glad I got to catch up with you. Sorry about that the other day. Once again,
and the support that you give. We got to give you a little bit of sound effects. The support is much, much appreciated.
I give the support that I would want if I was in a business. So
Oh
you know,
man, I appreciate it.
you continue to do great. I see you around.
All right, thank you so much, Knucklehead.
Have a good one.
You too. All right, all right. So we got two more. I wonder if I can get one more in the waiting room. We got Thomas and we got Panthers Prime, but let me see if we can't get one more in the room. Let me see if I can give a quick shout outs to all my members. So Knucklehead, K, Shaked, Chance Hines, all in here. B Stallion, not a member yet, but always tuning in. So next up, hey
What's up?
man, how you doing, Thomas? Hey, did you watch all of the game yesterday? Did you have to cut out?
You know what? I tried watching most of it, and I was going back and forth between that and the NASCAR race. I was from Vegas yesterday, and yet they were equally boring. So I mean, nothing caught my attention. But you were talking about T Swift not coming to the Bank of America. No, what's going to happen
She's not
is
coming.
Tepper's gonna find a way to get Taylor to go there, and then he's gonna brag on, "Look, I brought you Taylor Swift." To basically for Panthers fans to forget all about this, since he's always bragging about, "I brought you concerts, I brought you soccer," but no, he'll find a way. I mean, that's what Tepper likes to do. He likes to just be a distraction instead of worrying about the product on the field. But you
So he,
were talking about Bryce. Here's why I don't think he'll be traded, at least not this year. They gave him a lot to get him, and if you got rid of him, you're not going to get what you got back, or even remotely what you want. So I think they'll keep him at least for this year because of the fact, like I saw. Okay, I'm going to go on a tangent here. This is what really ticks me off about national media, especially ESPN. They do nothing but talk crap about Carolina every year. Say they need to get players. And then when they do, they said, "Oh, when all this trade market stuff, there it's always lists about Thelen, Johnson, all these good players." And then when they get rid of all their good players, they said, "Now they'll trash them again." Say Carolina has no talent. Didn't you just say they should trade this person, this person? They did, but anyway, they won't even get a first round draft pick from them. No team's going to give them up for a first or a second or even multiple picks. They're look, I saw one with a fourth round pick. They ain't going to be that desperate. And besides, you're basically paying him pennies. So they'll keep him, at least for the upcoming year. But also to answer, I think it was Chicane about the defensive players not bringing people in, or you're bringing people in but cheap. I've said it multiple times. When you have a $46 million cap hit, you can't bring anybody in. You're basically shopping with coupons, and hopefully it's doubled.
Double
So when
coupon Tuesday.
Right. And so when you're that deep in the hole, you can't bring in anybody, even if you wanted to, when you have all these holes because of injuries. I mean, once again, we're just going through a season of injury bug after injury bug. But it's just downright bad. Now, do I think there's going to be a change at the end of the year with defensive coach? Yes. I think they should go back to the 4-3 because I was never a fan of the 3-4. It never fit with Carolina. But also, my one thing is, I wish Canales. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, he also calls plays, correct?
Yes, sir.
Then I'm not a fan of when coaches do that. Either be a coach or be a coordinator. You are a head coach. Do not micromanage. You need to give your play calling duties to, I think his name, is it Isaac?
I struggle with it too. Isaac, Brett, yeah,
And so
Brad.
they need to let him. You brought him in to be your OC. Let him call plays so you can focus on everything. Looking at the offense, looking at the defense, clock management. having a sense of urgency. And when you're also calling plays, you're not really paying attention to the little details. And yeah, you might be able to do it during preseason or practice, but it's a totally different ball game. But I'm not a fan when coaches do that. If you want to be a coordinator, be a coordinator. But I mean, he needs to figure it out because sooner or later, I mean, I'm not ready to give up on him this year. Because if we do that, we're going to be like Cleveland and Washington has for almost 25 years
You're
in
talking about
cycle
giving up on
coaches.
Canales?
Right. I'm not ready to give up on him. Because if we do, we are going to be just like Cleveland and Washington. So you bring in coaches every other year, different GMs every other year, quarterbacks every other year. And that's kind of where we're at. And we need to break this cycle. But it, I don't know. It's just to the point where we're almost on that same level as the Haslams and Daniel Snyder of being that awful. Of these fanatics want to own a team, but they don't know what to do with it. It's like you get this luxury car and you go 200 miles an hour. I know I'm exaggerating here, but you get a ticket because you don't know how to handle what you got in front of you.
Yeah. Hey, a few
But that
quick
game was
things.
abysmal.
Yeah, it was bad. You should be there in person, man. It's even more exciting. But
Honestly, if they played around here more often, I might go to a game, but they don't play up here in Detroit or Cleveland very often for me to. I mean, I went to the Detroit game about 6 years ago. It was my first ever Carolina game.
uh-huh.
And of course, they lost. But it was when Cam and McCaffrey was still there. It was that 2018 season when the wheels fell off after Cam got hit in that Pittsburgh game. But yeah, but that's another thing. I don't think they've recovered since then. Their psyche as a franchise just never has recovered. It's like I don't know. We're cursed for some reason.
Hey, I gotta
But
throw a few things at you real quick.
go right ahead.
Shaquette said it must be really bad because you don't have on a Panthers jersey today.
Oh, I know. I normally do it on Mondays, since I have so much Carolina gear, but I was like today, no. And plus, I tried wearing a quarter zip this morning. It's like 80 degrees up here in Ohio, and that's warm for this time of year.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, no, 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 no. But it's whatever. What was the other thing you wanted to throw?
So the other quick one is in regards to the players
Hmm.
on the defensive side and saying like, we don't have much money, so we can't get good guys. Like the other part of it was saying, well, when we do get guys, because we've let go of many guys on the defensive end
Hmm.
that have been leading, they got a sack that previous Sunday, and then come Tuesday, they're gone. So one of the things that he said earlier was like, well, why are we getting rid of these guys and we're getting guys that are not even as good, and it seems like we're getting worse. So, and I kind of agree with that. That was a good question to put out there. It's like, yeah, we are kind of getting worse on defense right now.
Hmm. I think, well, the thing is, this kind of goes back on your past regime and also your current one when it comes to your analysis, bringing players in, and your scouting. Like have terrible depth in all positions for the most part. It's like if your starter number one gets hurt, you're just like hopefully like please be good because after that, your players. It's like you got them. You're shopping right at the Dollar Tree or $1.25 tree they call it now. But it's just they don't have. And also, I think it's because they're trying to get younger. Because if you're noticing Troy Hill, he's just a couple years younger than I am. I think he's 33. I'm 36. I they're trying to get younger, and plus I don't know if he makes a whole lot of money, so that also might have been a standpoint. But no, I agree. If you're gonna try to get rid of somebody, you should have maybe a plan. But I don't think they have a plan for this year because I think they're looking at it's a lost season.
Yeah.
3 wins
Appreciate
is good to be good if we can get there.
appreciate you much, Thomas.
You're welcome. Have a good night, Chris.
You as well.
Thank
All right, so I'm about to get the Panthers Prime podcast in just a second, who has very patiently waited for me to get to him tonight. Hey, again, the link's in the description for anybody that wants to join in. It will be a shorter show tonight, but I do have time if there's one more call, whether you want to be on your phone, your computer, to call in. One thing before I get to Panthers Prime podcast about the state of the Carolina Panthers organization is a lot of things are bad, and it's going to take some time to get them improved. It's just like, gosh, why do we have to go through so much bad? I mean, one of the things with this team is even though you got Dan Morgan and Dave Canales that are in here to make changes, one thing is for both of them, they're going to have some growing pains. Not saying, oh, don't care about this is why where we are. But no, I'm just saying they're going to have some growing pains. And then they gotta fix things that may have years worth of effects, such as our salary cap or lack thereof space to do anything. I think we have just over $1 million. That's not gonna help us do much. So and then we don't have a lot of draft picks. So then we have to, as we go to fix this team, well, we're going to have to try to do some creative things to try to get some more guys in here. And until we have draft picks where we can start to get Dan Morgan's guys and Dave Canales guys, like you do have those from this current draft, but the other guys are not. And you don't have good guys on your team, you don't have any money to get good guys, then they have said, what's the best thing that we can do? The best thing that we can do is to work the heck out of the waiver wire to try to turn some gems that we find, some needle in a haystack type things. And that's why we have a lot of turnover, trying to get through that, trying to get some guys. Not to say that it makes it any easier, but I just want to point that out. I think we got a super chat here that I got to definitely look at here. Look at my man Airsoft. Airsoft continues to give us great support with the super chat. Super chats are always much appreciated and greatly thankful for. Appreciate you guys so much. Hey, in the DC, it was a bad experience of a game, but you all continue to show love when you see me, which helps because it does get discouraging sometimes when, you know, the things that I go through, which we don't have time to talk about that now, but it's a lot to put on the productions that we put on with the lack of resources, lack of staff that we have. It was a guy that was on the sidelines and said, man, you not only set up, did the show, but you set up all this equipment to do the show, and then you got to break it down, and then you go. I'm like, yes, I got to do everything. But I just want to say that I really appreciate everybody that supports the channel, takes time out of their day or evening or afternoon to tune in and talk. I appreciate it very much. So, where you at, man?
Hey, what's up, man? Can you hear me?
I can hear you good, sir. How you doing? Thank you so much for patiently
Hey,
waiting.
man, I'm doing good, man. I'm sorry. Just leaving my son's football practice, which was more competitive than any game I saw for the Carolina Panthers this season.
Practice was more competitive, man.
Yeah, practice was more competitive, man. Them kids was out there hitting, man. And yeah, the Carolina Panthers ain't doing none of that, Chris, man. It's actually horrible, man. It's actually horrible.
It is very, very horrible. Very horrible.
Yeah. I just got two things really to say, man. Hindsight is always 20/20, right? That's what we always say. I remember back during the combine interview or press conference that Dave Canella said, or he was speaking, and one of the media personalities asked him, what is it going to take to fix Bryce Young? And Dave Canella said, Bryce Young doesn't need fixing. That's what he said. and only 2 games in, you drop the guy who you said was the main reason why you decided to come to Carolina. And then today, when asked questions about Bryce Young, you say they're hypothetical. So I guess everything that we saw with Bryce Young is just fictitious. Like, you benching him, you coming to Carolina saying that Bryce Young, is the reason why you came here, and all that was fictitious. Because it's a hypothetical question. Like, Dave Canellis, to me right now, is really, I'm not gonna lie, Chris, he's really pissing me off right now.
Okay. Talk about it.
He really is, man. Just some of the things that he's saying, it makes no sense to me. Like, also the fact that you're bringing Bryce Young in. I already know, Bryce is probably done with Carolina. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors and stuff like that that's going on. But why would you bring Bryce Young in 2 games, fourth quarter, to add on to the bad image that Bryce Young has already gathered by himself? He went 2 for 2 for -4 yards yesterday. Why are you doing that, man? Let Andy stay out there and do that. Like I understand Bryce Young ain't the answer right now, but don't do the man dirty like that, man. Come on, Chris. Don't do him dirty like that, man.
That's that's good stuff right there, man. You see, I gotta
You know
put my
what I'm
head
saying?
down. Like that's good stuff. Hey, man,
Chris, man, it's not good, man. We
the Panther
go ahead. I'm sorry.
situation. The Panther situation right now is that good old Facebook status that we all love to see is complicated. It's really complicated because I don't know if I'm losing you there, but a few things about Bryce. I think that Canales was high on Bryce, and he was eager to work with and fix Bryce. Did use those words, and he had done it with other smaller quarterbacks. Remember him talking about he got some special sauce for these smaller quarterbacks, and he wasn't going to tell the media or us what that was, but there's some things that they could do. And then after 2 games, boom, we completely, jump ship on Bryce. So one question mark to that, of course,
Yeah.
is we don't know how much David Tepper was like on that. We don't know. We can only speculate. But if we just go with what we're hearing, that it was Dave's decision, whether it was Dave's decision or whether it was Tepper that was all on it, I think whoever was the primary decision maker in that move is done with Bryce. Whichever one
Yeah.
of them it was, they're done with Bryce. And so it's just going to be a matter of time before we move on, whether it's before the trade deadline, if we're able to. But, yesterday we get him out there. That's my thing, that I get it that there's, like, I can't give anybody any good, like, hope right now that's a Panthers fan and going through this, right? Because it's been terrible. It's been, like, I've been married, 4 years now? And I'm like, can you guys please do something decent? Because my wife thinks I have the absolute, like, why are you doing this? Like, all she's ever seen is like me coming home looking miserable. I'm like, gosh, she probably wonders, like, why is he doing this? But I think they're done with Bryce, and some people say let's get him back out there. I'm like, no, you guys are forgetting. You're so desperate for a change, which I get, but you're forgetting he gives us absolutely nothing. That's why you had such a change. And yes, sure
Yeah.
enough, what was his stats from yesterday? Come
2
on.
for 2, -4, man.
It was Bryce 101 back in
Yeah.
session. Not that Andy was
man.
firing
Yeah,
it down
man.
the field,
You know
but it
what?
was the same thing. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, Andy Dalton didn't do any better. I mean, he threw the same exact pick from last year. Remember in the Lions game, the screen pass that was picked off in the Lions game? I mean, it was ultimately the same exact pick that Andy Dalton threw this year that Bryce Young threw last year. I mean, nothing has changed with this offense. And I had high hopes for this team coming into the season. I really did. I was probably one of the most optimistic Panthers fans out there. But man, after 2 games of Bryce Young and seeing how Dave Canellis, who was this quarterback guru, who we were fed to believe he was a quarterback guru, how he jumped ship on a mission that he deemed himself to be the captain of. And now you're saying everything is hypothetical. We're going to go with Andy Dalton. To me, man, it just seems like you came into this situation. You knew you didn't want Bryce. But that was the only way that you were possibly going to get this job because David Tepper wanted Bryce Young. Like, let's just keep it a buck. Like, let's keep it 100. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wanted Mike Vrabel to be the next head coach. I felt like he had, the formula. He had the history. He had, winning seasons. You know what I mean? I wanted Mike Vrabel. But, just like with Bryce Young, you get on board, you get on with the train. But it's just funny how quick that train parked at a station and has yet to start its engine back up, man. So I don't know what they're going to do with Bryce. I have no idea.
Hey,
No
I
idea.
always put it out there, and I hadn't put it out there yet. I'm gonna take a peek at it right now. This is gonna be Andy Dalton's pass chart. What do we do? We're in week 7 now, right? Or we're about to be in week 8. Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, right to the gate. No, I'm on the phone.
He had 3 passes over 15, and last week he had. Oh man, I'm trying to make this quick because I'm gonna let you go here in a second. I gotta get to my little daughter's birthday celebration. So he had 3 over 15,
Okay.
and then week 6 he had 2, 4, 6, 7. So cut him in half. So and the reason I went to that is because I haven't had a chance to look at the tape. I got to probably readjust my schedule. When I travel, it's so hard for me to get back and do the normal stuff I do when I'm here to able to go through it, content. But I just feel like the play
Yeah.
calling has changed. Like, why did the red rifle suddenly become like a little pistol shooter, like a little dink, little dunk? Like, why is he not even, whether it's attempted or not? Why is he not? It just looked like the game's been called differently, which I was excited about when Andy came in there because I felt like we had opportunities, and I feel like we just changed back to something else.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, Chris. It goes back to what I said last season. Adam Thielen was going to be our X factor last season, which he was. He was our best wide receiver. You see, Adam Thielen. An offense without Adam Thielen is an offense that really can't produce. If you just want to be totally honest about it, and I know that there's a lot of Panthers fans that keep saying, "Oh, old Adam Thielen, he can't do much." Man, listen, we probably about to lose two good wide receivers because we're so trash right now. But Adam, I'm serious. But Adam Thielen is the reason why, we were allowed to do some of the things we did in that Raiders game. You know what I mean? I mean, let's just be truthfully honest. So
Yeah.
I don't think that Adam Thielen wants to stay here. I mean, it was pretty evident in the offseason that there was a lot of things that didn't go the way he wanted it to go. Deontay Johnson, I saw in the locker room presses, he was a little bit frustrated, and you could just tell, man, the whole team just looked demoralized, man. And I mean, it's bad, man. I mean, I turned the game off and I went to sleep. I ain't gonna lie to you, Chris, man. I was like, man, halftime, I went to sleep, man. Bump that.
Hey, love talking
Um,
to you, man. Appreciate you. Hopefully, I'll
yeah,
be talking
man.
to you again, and hopefully we'll have something better to talk about. But unfortunately, got to keep the show short tonight. But appreciate you so much for taking the time, especially while driving. And you got to tell me where your son play at,
Yes,
so I can
sir.
come see some good games.
Oh man, down here in Rock Hill, man, play for the Gray Wide for the county.
Okay.
They going they going to the playoffs. Yeah, so I'm hype about that. Yeah,
Shout outs to the family, man. Shout out.
yeah, man. But cool, Chris, man. You enjoy your night. Thank you for letting me on, man.
Absolutely. Take care.
Peace.
All right. So again, normally it's an hour-long show. My daughter had her first birthday. I was out of town yesterday, so I got to get downstairs and give her some love. Hey, I'm glad everybody started to tune in, get used to the show. I'm going to be here whether they win, whether they lose, whether it's the worst thing you've ever seen. And I think that's worth having you all like the channel, subscribe, tell a friend, because we are not going to change our coverage because of that. And we need your support to continue to do that because, again, it does cost a lot resource-wise to cover every game and do all the things that we do. So anytime that you're able to do that, monetarily support us, please consider doing so. Gonna put on the screen now, hit the wrong button in case I keep hitting the wrong button. Come on, let's see. All right, I'm gonna try to hit this button one more time. All right, so I'm gonna stop trying to hit the button and I'm just gonna hit it like this. Boom. All right, so for those that are able to support us monetarily, there's a link for Cash App to do so right there. I am going to try to run through some more comments before I get off of here. And let's see. Chuck says, fire sale those guys because we aren't winning with them. We can lose without them. Yeah, so here's something that I want you all to look forward to. So I do have some sources that I'm going to be talking to this evening. Some other league sources that I'm going to, talk to about in this team and what we can do to get some kind of information, see what some other experts think. And once I have had those conversations, I'm going to come back to you all and tell you what I have found. And mostly I'm going to be looking at this defense, talking about this defense. What can we do? Is it just, it is what it is? Could it be more things done with our personnel? Is it time to move on from Evero? because 40 points, bad. 243 through 7 games, on pace to set a record in the league. Offense scoring 7 points, barely, atrocious. Um, and we're only in week 7. We got more than half the season to go. We have some really tough matchups after Germany with Kansas City, with the Bucks twice, yada yada yada. We do play the Cowboys, which right now currently aren't that good, but hey, they could get it together come the second half, and we're going to play those guys here in Charlotte. So lots of questions to be answered, and we got to buckle up, buckle in. Best thing I can do is make sure I keep you all informed with content. I'll be in the locker room this week getting more information, questions answered. Shaked gave me some good information there that I'm going to think about, analyze, and report back on as well. So thank you all very, very much. Chris, have Mike K come on next week to take our calls and meet Thomas Frisbee on air. So regarding that, each week I do try to have guests on the show, other media personalities, just to bring a different perspective to things. So Alex Zetlow of the Charlotte Observer was on. Mike K and I have been talking. He is scheduled to come on. I don't think we have narrowed down an exact date or game yet. I'm thinking we have talked about Germany, but I'm not exactly sure. Don't quote me on that. But this week, coming up in Denver, I will be in Denver, pregame live on the field, and we'll have Chris Lee on our show as well. He's another local, or I should say regional. He's not from Charlotte actually, but he's in the region that covers this Carolina Panthers team on a regular basis. He's going to join me as well as we go to get you all ready for that Denver Broncos matchup. So if you guys are liking the guests that come on, please continue to let me know. If you all have a guest that you would like me to come on this, in the media world, let me know. I will do my best to get them on. So thank you all very much. Chris Jenkins reporting for Charlotte Vibe.